Hey y'all, it's Kayla with the Celebration Company, and I just have a quick little craft for you guys that comes with a freebie, okay? So I will post the link to the freebie in the comments of this post as well as in the description of this video. No, you may not have that. And but the link is always the same for any of our freebies. It's bit.ly/celebrate freebies. So for all of our freebies, no matter what it is, it's always the same link, and that's what it is. And so when you go in, you'll just fill out the form and request for the lavender freebie, okay? What we're making today is a pretty little hanging scroll picture that you would hang up on your wall. And so what we are using, the supplies are very simple. This is the freebie right here. So you are going to request this pretty little freebie. So it's just a lavender flower, and then it's just got the word lavender written below it. And you'll just print that out on regular copy paper, okay? Just regular copy paper. This is an 8.5 by 11. And when you pull the image up, it will be scaled to the right size. So all you have to do is just pull it up. It'll come in an email to you, pull it up, print it, and it's ready to go. So that is the freebie. And what we are also using is some craft paper. This craft paper came from the Dollar Tree. It's just a roll from the Dollar Tree, okay? It's not typically with the wrapping paper though. Typically it's like with the office supplies, okay? And then we've just got some dowel rods, all right? These dowel rods, I believe, are 12 inches. Yes, they are 12-inch wide dowel rods, okay? And then we've got some jute and just some regular old supplies. So what we're gonna do is cut our piece of paper. We're gonna cut a long strip of craft paper, okay? So we wanna make sure this is straight. So we're gonna measure this out to make sure we've got a nice straight piece, all right? Now, if you have some craft paper that's got a grid on the back of it, then you're not gonna have to do all this measuring. You can just simply cut it, and you'll be making sure you're cutting it straight because you have a grid. But since this one does not have that, I'm going to make sure that I measure a straight line, okay? So I'm using a yardstick, y'all. This came from Harbor Freight. It costs like nothing, okay, from Harbor Freight. And let's see, I'm trying to think of the best way for me to, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line this up with my table here. Let me see here. I think what actually is going to be best is I'm going to use a little triangle, okay? So I'm going to use a little triangle, and I'm going to line it up with the bottom of the paper, and I'm just going to make a mark, okay? And I'm going to do the same thing to the top, all right? I'm just going to flip it over. Let's see, no, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm just trying to decide how to go about this. Okay, I'm gonna line my straight edge or my yardstick up with that mark that I just made and go down. Okay, so now I have a straight edge, and it should be nice and even. Okay, and it is. So what I'm gonna do is just cut off this edge here because I wanna make sure that it's nice and straight. And I had already cut on this roll of craft paper, so I knew that the edge, I didn't know how straight that edge was gonna be. It could have been pretty crooked. So just cut along that line that you just made. Okay. And it doesn't have to be like super perfect, but this piece, it definitely wasn't perfectly straight, okay? All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna measure over, and our paper that we're gonna be putting on this, so we're gonna be putting our lavender paper just right onto our craft paper. We want a little bit of an edge, so I am thinking about a 1/2 inch. And since this is 8.5 inches wide, our paper is, we are going to cut our craft paper to 9.5 inches wide, okay? So what I'm gonna do is just measure across 9.5 inches and make a mark. And then I'm gonna go up a ways and I'm gonna do the same thing. For you quilters out there, you guys can do this no problem. All right, now I'm gonna take my long yardstick and line those 2 marks up and then make a line with my pencil. So just make sure that they're nicely lined up. Then I'm just gonna mark it with my pencil all the way down. Okay, and then I'm just gonna cut right on that line that I just cut, or I just drew. Now, our paper may not need to be this long. I'm just going with it since that is how long the paper is to begin with. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab our dowel rod. I'm gonna flip this over since the markings are on that side. I'm gonna flip it over. Okay, so we're just gonna take our dowel rod. We're going to, y'all, I didn't plug in my hot glue gun. Plug that in real quick. While we wait momentarily for that hot glue to warm up. I'm gonna see how much I can cut off of this. What we're gonna end up doing is we're just gonna line our dowel rod up and we are going to roll some of the paper around our dowel rod. Okay, like this. We're gonna hot glue it. And then we are gonna put our paper, our lavender image right on. We're just going to literally glue this onto our craft paper, okay? And then we are going to roll up the same for this top piece. So I am not gonna need this much paper. I'm gonna go ahead and cut some of it off, okay? But I wanna make sure to cut it straight because that's gonna help me make sure I'm rolling the dowel rod straight when I roll it up, okay? So I am going to use my little triangle here. And I'm just totally eyeballing the length that I'm cutting off. So I'm just gonna flip this around. So I'm cutting off, and I'll let you guys know, I'm cutting off 9.5 inches of length, okay? All right, there we go. So let me see if my hot glue is ready yet. It's about ready. So I'm gonna take my dowel rods. Now these dowel rods they came in a package, I think from Walmart. So they were already 12 inches and they are 3/8. That's the size of them, is 3/8. All right, yeah, baby.
I
You want to do what?
I'm going to rub these batteries so they work again.
Oh. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just bringing my dowel rod down. Now I'm leaving my dowel rods just, I'm saying that now I'm wondering if I should stain them. I kind of want to stain them, y'all. I kind of want to stain them. Let's do that. Let's stain them. I think it'll look a little better. So let me just pour out. I'm going to use the Waverly Antique Wax. Y'all, I did see today that you can order it from Walmart. If you can't find it in person, they do have it at walmart.com. So check that out if you can't find it. Yeah, baby. Not right now, sweetie. Mommy's in the middle of a video. All right, so I don't know why I did the middle. You don't have to do the middle because you're not even going to see it. Really, all you need is the ends. Okay? So just stain the ends a little bit. Totally optional step. I just decided that I thought it would look nice to do that. Only about 1 inch is what shows. And then don't forget to get the ends as well, which I did forget those. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is just line this up. All right. So I'm just bringing it down to the bottom. I'm going to line it up to where it's straight. And there's an equal amount on each side. And I'm just going to take my hot glue and run a bead along the edge. Right along the bottom. And then I'm just going to bring my paper up to my dowel rod. And then just roll it up. You want to make sure you're rolling it tightly. Just roll it up until, you know, it's good. And then you're just going to take some hot glue again and just go and do a nice strip of hot glue across the bottom. And then roll it up just a little bit further so that it's nicely sealed. Okay? Alrighty. Now, before we do the top, we're going to go ahead and glue on our lavender picture. So we've got a 1/2 inch on each side, and then I think I want about 1 inch on the bottom and the top. So you do it though, whatever works for you, however you like it. It's totally up to you how you do that. Okay? All right, so I am just going to use a glue stick for this. You could use Mod Podge. I'm currently out of Mod Podge and I'm waiting for mine to come in from the mail. It's coming in today, but it's not here yet. So we're just gonna go crazy with the glue stick, which will be totally fine for this project. What, baby?
What about this? How does that not get in there?
Sweetie, I don't know that there is a battery in there, baby. I think you're working on something that's not gonna work. I think that's just for pretend. Okay? Alright. So, I'm just gonna take my paper, line it up, and then just smooth it right on to that craft paper. Sweetie, you're gonna have to wait till I'm done with the video, okay? Thank you. All right. So, once you get that on, we're almost done. We're gonna take our other dowel rod and I'm gonna flip this around. Okay. So take the other one and we're gonna start at the top. Now I left myself plenty of paper up here. I probably left myself a little bit more than necessary. I'm gonna do the same thing that I've been doing. So I just line it up straight. And I'm just gonna run a bead of hot glue just along that rod and just start rolling up the paper, adhering it to the rod with the hot glue. And then just keep rolling it. Until you get it where you want to. Okay, so I rolled it up a few times. And so I'm just gonna take some hot glue, go along that dowel rod again, and just keep folding it or rolling it until it's sealed, okay? So we don't want it to keep rolling, all right? We want it to stay open like this. We don't want it to unroll either, all right? So here is what we have so far. How cute is that? That looks awesome. All we need to do is put our hanger on it and it's done. So the way that we're gonna do that is we're gonna do that with some jute, okay? Also, what I'm noticing is a little bit of the pencil markings from my line is showing where I've rolled it. So just take your eraser from your pencil and just go back and remove that so that you don't see that pencil mark. Okay, comes off really easy. All right, so I'm gonna take my jute. I'm gonna put a little dab. I want my jute to be right here on the edge of the paper. So I'm going to just take a little dab of hot glue on the back and then put my jute on it. Okay, and I'm gonna wrap up the jute around the rod just a little.
Oh, can I put my tool belt on?
In a minute, baby. Okay, so just like this. Okay, so I just wrapped it around the rod a couple of times. I don't know, 3 or 4 times, okay? And then I'm gonna put a little dab of hot glue again to hold it in place, okay? Just a little, and I'm doing this on the back so that you can't see the hot glue from the front, okay? All right, so I'm going to bring it over, figure out about how long I want the hanger to be, and then I'm gonna cut some excess, all right? And I'm gonna do the same thing. So just a little dab of hot glue, glue down your piece of jute, and again, just right next to the paper, okay? Right next to the paper. And then just start wrapping up that excess jute. Bring it around to the back, and then just use a little dab of hot glue on the back to lay that down. I'm just going to grab my little finger protector to push that extra jute down. And this little thing is all done. How cute is this? So here's the fun thing with this. If you are computer savvy, then there's so many things that you could do. There are so many different images that you could use for this. I love the black and white, but even some botanical images that, you know, are in green, things like that would be really pretty. There's so many different things that you could do. Even if you just have some, maybe you've got some images, I don't know, just so many different ideas that you could do with this, but how simple is this and so inexpensive? Imagine on like a big wall, a set of 6 of these with all different images. All I've got to provide for you guys is the one. But imagine a set of 6 of these on a big wall with all different flowers on here. That would be really pretty. You know what else would be pretty is a black and white photo. An 8x10 black and white photo just printed on some paper. That would be adorable on here as well. So many fun ideas. This was simple. Be sure to request your freebie, you guys, and Trisha will be sending it to you in your email. And I hope you guys enjoyed this craft, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye.